guys, so we have a big breaking news coming out. Please share this video. Today is January 22nd, 2025, and welcome to the Real GS News channel. Alright guys, before I start, give this video a big thumbs up, and once again, thank you so much for your support. The Pentagon to send up to 1,500 active duty troops to help secure US-Mexico border, officials say. Alright, so this is a massive bombshell report. Give me a second here. Once again, please share the video. The Pentagon will begin deploying as many as 1,500 active duty troops to help secure the southern border in the coming days. United States officials said Wednesday, putting in motion plans. President Donald Trump laid out an executive order shortly after he took office to crack down on immigration. All right, so we already know January 20th, that's when he shut down the border, and he said that he was going to deploy military, but now today we are getting information it's going to be more than 1,500. All right, so, and ICE have arrested more than 300, and you know, there's people in Arizona, eyewitness, have seen the arrest of multiple people. Texas, people are reporting seeing Black Hawk helicopters. And so they're arresting the criminals, illegals. All right, so I do believe they are starting with the prisons and also the gangs out there in the streets of, you know, Chicago, New York, Miami, Houston. I mean, again, it's just going to be a massive operation. And so far, we are seeing more than 300 arrests on first day. All right, so I do believe the number is going to go up. All right, so it says here, Acting Defense Secretary Robert, kind of sound a little different because it was Lloyd, right? The Acting Defense Secretary was Lloyd Austin. Now it's Robert Salas. I totally apologize about the last name. It says here, was expected to sign the deployment orders on Wednesday, but it wasn't yet clear which troops or unit will go, and the total could be fluctuate. Now, it remains to be seen if they will end up doing law enforcement, which will put American troops in a dramatically different role for the first time in decades. Now, it says here, the official spoke on condition of anonymity because the announcement has not yet been made. Now, the active duty forces will join the roughly 2,500 U.S. National Guard and reserve forces already there. There are currently no active duty troops working along the border. All right, so you guys know it's mostly like National Guards and multiple states. It was 2023. You have multiple states. I think it was more than 20 states, all Republicans. They have sent National Guards to Texas because, again, we had a former leader, Joe Biden, refuse to seal the southern border and allow millions to come in. So Texas governor said enough is enough. So they took control. Multiple states sent National Guards, and it's really sad that we had, for the past 4 years, we had a, if you want to call him leader, we had a leader that did absolutely nothing when it comes to the southern border. Trump is putting his foot down. He locked the southern border, and now he's sending 1,500 troops. So the troops are expected to be used to support Border Patrol agents with logistics, transportation, and construction of barriers. They have done similar duties in the past when both Donald Trump and former President Joe Biden sent active duty troops to the border. Hold on. Okay, so they have done similar duties in the past when both Trump and former President Joe Biden sent active duty troops to the border. Did Joe Biden send soldiers out there? Who's this? Oh, this is the Associated Press. Are you guys sure that's the right info? All right, so troops are prohibited by law from doing law enforcement duty under the proposed Comitatus Act. But that may change. Donald Trump has directed through executive order that the incoming Secretary of Defense and incoming Homeland Security Chief report back within 90 days if they excuse me, if they think an 1807 law called the Insurrection Act should be invoked that will allow those troops to be used in civilian law enforcement on U.S. soil. Now, the last time the act was invoked was in 1992 during the rioting in Los Angeles in protest of the acquittal of 4 police officers charged with beating Rodney King. Remember that? And I think I was like 5 years old, 6 years old when that happened. The widely expected deployment coming in Trump's first week in office was an early step in his long-touted plan to expand the use of the military along the border in one of his first orders on Monday. Donald Trump directed the defense secretary to come up with a plan to steal the borders and repair unlawful mass migration. On Tuesday, just as Donald Trump fired the Coast Guard commandant, admiral or administrator, Linda, the service announced it was surging more cutter ships, aircraft, and personnel to the Gulf of America. The Gulf of America. Okay, so a nod to the president's directive to rename the Gulf of Mexico. I gotta go check the Google map and see if they changed the name because it still says Gulf of Mexico. So Donald Trump said during his inaugural address on Monday that I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places in which they came. Now, India presidents have agreed with Donald Trump that they are willing to take back their citizens. I think it's going to be more than 3,000. So they're going to send 3,000 of India citizens. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I did read that information yesterday. Military personnel have been sent to the border almost continuously, since the 1990s to help address migration, drug trafficking, and transnational crime. An executive order signed Monday, Donald Trump suggested the military would help the Department of Homeland Security with detention space, transportation, including aircraft and other logistics services. In his term, Donald Trump ordered active duty troops to the border in response to a caravan of migrants slowly making its way through Mexico towards the United States in 2018. More than 7,000 active duty troops were sent to Texas, Arizona, and California, including military police, an assault helicopter battalion, various communications, medical and headquarter units, combat engineers, planners, and public affairs unit. They're getting ready for this one here. At the time, the Pentagon was adamant that active duty troops would not do law enforcement. So they spent much of their time transporting Border Patrol agents to and along the border, helping them erect additional vehicle barriers and fencing along the border, assisting them with communications and providing some security for border agent camps. Now, the military also provided The military also provided Border Patrol agents with medical care, prepackaged meals, and temporary housing. Now, it's also not yet clear if the Trump administration will order the military to use bases to house detained migrants. Bases previously had been used for that purpose, and after the 2021 fall of Kabul to the Taliban, they were used to host thousands of Afghan evacuees. The facility struggled to support the influx. In 2018, then Defense Secretary Jim Mattis, haven't heard that name in a while, ordered the Goodfellow Air Force Base in San Angelo, Texas, to prepare to house as many as 20,000 unaccompanied migrant children, but the additional space ultimately wasn't needed, and Goodfellow was determined not to have the infrastructure necessary to support the surge. Now, in March 2021, the Biden administration, greenlighted using property at Fort Bliss, Texas, for a detention facility to provide beds for up to 10,000 unoccupied migrant children as border crossing increased from Mexico. The facility, operated by DHS, was quickly overturned. Give me a second here, guys. I truly apologize, guys. I just got a phone call and I had to let that person know I'm almost done with the video. All right, so in March 2021, the Biden administration greenlighted using property at Fort Bliss, Texas, for a detention facility to provide beds up to 10,000 unaccompanied migrant children. As border crossing increased from Mexico, the facility, operated by DHS, Department of Homeland Security, was quickly overrun with far too few case managers for the thousands of children that arrived, exposed to extreme weather and dust in unsanitary condition. A 2022 Inspector General report found. All right, so that's where we at right now. So he's gonna send troops. We don't know if it's gonna be the Army, the Marines. Again, we don't know. I doubt it's going to be National Guard. They have a whole bunch of National Guard out there, but my gut tells me it's going to be the Army that's going to be out there. So he already got like the Coast Guards out there in the Gulf of America. Give me a second here. Let me look at the Google map. Google map. It still says Gulf of Mexico. Man, Google is like, we don't recognize that. We don't recognize. See, Gulf of Mexico. It still says Gulf of Mexico. All right. So that's where we at when it comes to the new name, Gulf of Mexico, or excuse me, Gulf of America. All right, so this is where we at right now, guys. It's really sad that we are still working on this southern crisis. Again, Biden just did absolutely nothing about the border, and border czar Kamala Harris does absolutely nothing. They both failed. Millions came in, and now Trump is trying to seal it and send those millions back home. It's sad, and it's just wrong, and there should be justice. Justice needs to be served, because you basically using people, and many people lives lost during that journey to the U.S. I mean, it just, at the very end, it just, you cannot play political on people's lives, and that's what's going on. Again, I'm not blaming Trump. I'm blaming those administration that has failed to secure the border. So Trump is doing something about it. But man, they gave that man a hard time starting from 2017 to 2021. They gave him a really hard time. But again, that goes to tell you that this country was being run by a whole bunch of Looney Tunes. You don't believe me? Well, the last president just pardoned almost his entire family. And that last president, again, you guys know who is the 46th that pardoned his family. I mean, if you pardon your family, that means that you guys are criminal. Bingo. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Once again, for those of you that want to give your life to Christ, you can email me. My email is in the description box. Me and my wife are here to help many and to lead many to the righteous path, and that's the path of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. $1 a month Patreon will get you access to our live stream every Monday we go live and we talk about things that we cannot talk about on this platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for He's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.